Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We did it, baby. We did it. 10,000 subscriptions. That's a real milestone, man. I am so thankful. I have so much gratitude for you guys. Thank you so much for literally enjoying this content enough to go out of your way to like and subscribe and to comment and do all of this stuff that all of you do on a daily basis to create so much engagement over here, man. I appreciate you guys so much. Took a year, but we're here. You know what I mean? Took a year, but we're here. 10,000 subscriptions is insane. I promised you guys once we reached this milestone that I would revisit my reaction that started it all, right? I started before this, and you go back, you're going to see a whole bunch of reactions. They're probably trash, to be honest, but the one that really started the movement on Thoughts of a Predicate Winner is Adam Calhoun and Mesus featuring Tom Macdonald, Mirrors. Now, I have been waiting, ladies and gentlemen, I have been waiting to get back to this because if we're going to be honest about it, the whole reason that a lot of you guys started to subscribe to the channel regardless was because you got to see in real time how I was convinced by the culture of hip hop that these dudes were just MAGA rappers. And I was like, yeah, I'll check this out, man. And I just went into it with that mindset of, the culture or the whatever that means even. I don't even know anymore. But like the culture aspect of hip hop told me told me that this ain't it. So I can't be getting on a YouTube channel talking about, yo, this is it. But about midway through the reaction, I started to realize that these guys can really rap. They can really rap. I told Adam this in my interview with him where I'm like, bro, I started off like, I can't get down with this. But because I've just, culture told me these dudes are political MAGA rappers. I could almost get emotional about it midway through the video. And it was like so God driven, bro. Like I'm just scrolling through YouTube and I just see this random video. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. See what happens. But man, about midway through the video, I'm like, yo, I'm wrong. I need to reset here. I need to give them the attention that they deserve here, man, because they are killing this record. And it's just crazy to look back on, man, to see how far we've grown in just this year from that. I mean, I've had an interview with Adam Calhoun. Mesus is going to give me an interview. We talk behind the scenes pretty frequently. I haven't had the chance of talking with Tom, but I'm sure that Tom knows who I am at this point. I would think so. I mean, he has to lift those claims and stuff like that. Like he's got to know who I am at this point. And I would love an interview with him as well one day. We're putting that into the air like we always have. To all the different, like, I've done a documentary about Tom and his fans. I've done, it's just super cool. It's super cool to see how things have transpired over the year, and it all started here. It all started with Mirrors. So I'm super ecstatic, not even excited. I'm ecstatic to get back into this and to rewatch it and this song means something totally different to me now than it did whenever I did the reaction. So without further ado, let's get into it. But before we do it, please make sure to smash that like button and smash that subscribe button for your boy. Help propel me into them algorithms. Back, we at 10K, baby. That feels so good, man. Thank y'all so much, man. But if you're feeling real froggy, double back. Click that subscription button one more time and become a member. I sure appreciate you guys, man. Let's do this, bro. Let's do this.
And I looked, and behold a pale horse.
Yeah.
And his name that sat upon him was Death, and hell followed with him.
Let's go, A-Cal.
You ever get depression? Face goes blank, no expression. Dealing with some demons, they aggressive. Looking at the gun on the dresser. Got a question, will these thoughts stop if I press it?
I interviewed him, bro. That feels crazy, dog. That feels crazy to go from this in the beginning where I'm like, all right, I guess. Nah, they spazzing. Something was wrong with that kid. Something was wrong with that kid that was talking about this video like that. It takes one to admit when they're wrong, though, you know? Hey, Cal.
You ever get depression? Face goes blank, no expression. Dealing with some demons, they aggressive. Looking at the gun on the dresser. Got a question, will these thoughts stop if I press it? I don't really wanna off myself, but I often sit and think. Gotta shed a tear like a drop from a faucet sink. Need to talk to a shrink, walk with a priest. Wanna fight everybody when I walk down the street. Want a problem? Fuck you, Your Honor. Never had a father, made me crazy. Motherfucker came in swinging like Muhammad Ali Frazier. Born in 1980, started rapping way before I ever heard of Shady.
It's crazy to look back on it, too, because I feel like, well, first of all, I wasn't a good reactor yet, right? Like, when you first start off doing this, you're not good at it yet. Like, you might think you got a niche for it, but you're not good at it. Like, you haven't done nothing to separate yourself. You haven't done anything to say, like, hey, because the goal as a reactor is that you want the fans to want to come and see what you got to say about the song. They got to know, like, what does Thoughts of a Predicate Winner think about this? It's important. If you don't have that, then you're not going to be able to make it in this field, right? So at that point in time, nobody cared what I had to say about nothing. You know what I mean? I think I just pissed all of y'all off, and then halfway through, y'all were like, oh, actually, that's kind of cute. He's cool. I'll rock with him because he was honest and because he admitted his mistakes. But it really is crazy to think about, man, because if I really would have been listening to it and giving it the attention that it deserved, I relate to this verse so much, bro. So much. It's absurd that I was sitting there like, I mean, it's all right, I guess. Like, what was I thinking? Dog, for real. Like, what was I thinking about, bro? Like, lyrically, fire. Flow, fire. Delivery, fire. Relatability, 1,000. Like, I don't know what I was doing, bro. I was losing my marbles. Losing my marbles, bro.
Fuck you, Your Honor. Never had a father, made me crazy. Motherfucker came in swinging like Muhammad Ali Frazier. Born in 1980, started rapping way before I ever heard of Shady.
And I remember this part right here. I was like, look, dog, if you were a white rapper, I said this. If you are a white rapper, Eminem has inspired you in some way, shape, or form. Boy, y'all let me have it in them comments, boy. Boy, y'all gave it to me in them comments. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know nothing about Adam. Adam started rapping way before Eminem came out. I was like, yeah. Okay. Y'all were right. I was wrong. I got to take that. You know what I mean? And even down to the, like, when he gave me the interview, I wanted him to talk about, like, who his inspirations were. It was a lot of you guys knew already, but, you know, Wu-Tang, ODB, Method Man. He talks about Method Man, Ghostface being in 50. Like, so I just want to take this second to just applaud, salute, and admire this verse, because this verse it's captivating. It hooks you in. It is fire. And I don't know what I was doing in that original reaction. It's embarrassing. It's honestly kind of embarrassing to look back on it at this point in time. I know that Mama Don goes back and watches it all the time just to, like, have a laugh, but it's nasty. That's a nasty reactor back then, man. But we've come a long way, you know? And even in the interview, he says, you know, Eminem to him is the greatest lyrical rapper ever. But he's a liberal, you know, is what it is. And I still love Eminem. Don't get me twisted, man. I love Eminem's music, man. But this is rap gold. Like, and looking back on this after all the songs we've went through from all three of these artists, Mesus, Adam, and Tom, looking back through all of these different, it didn't take much to sell me after this. So even though I went into this with that, like, cultural impact of, like, I can't rock with them, man, blah, 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 it was lame. I'm telling y'all something, like, I know I was lame for that. But even looking at it from that perspective, this still sold me enough to where I was like, all right, well, let's see. You know what I mean? On all three of them, and all three of their accounts, like, and they're all phenomenal. They're all really dope artists.
I ain't even know white dudes rap. Thought you had to be black for that. Had a Philly starter jacket with the hat to match. I was rapping way before I heard the aftermath. I've been feeling crazy, but
hook is crazy.
I've been down lately, but maybe someday I'll get my act together. Made it through the bad weather. Day was okay, but I had better. I don't like to look in mirrors, cause I don't like looking at my face. I don't look at my face. I don't look at my face.
Hey Cal, you was on one that day, boy. That's a crazy verse. And that hook is fire to me, man, because it like and you got to think this was my introduction to Adam, right? So I'm thinking that he's going to have more screamo type stuff like that. Like he just went off on this record. Like, you know, it's fire. This is fire. I wonder what it was like for y'all in that moment when y'all first heard this song. You know what I mean? Y'all were probably, the fans was probably so amped up that Tom got on this joint with Adam and Mesus. Come on, bro. I know y'all were amped up. That's fire.
Aggressive, say it with my chest is so they get the message. I don't mean to text best if you just look away, or I make your head twist like an exorcist.
Mesus is the first rapper out of all these dudes that I actually talked to. He commented on my reaction to this and was like, yo, it's crazy to call me a country bumpkin. But I appreciate the input or whatever. And I felt so bad, bro, because I didn't know him. You know what I mean? I didn't know him. I didn't know nothing about Mesus. So I was like, bro, I gotta apologize for that, man. I shouldn't have called you that. He's like, yeah, dog, like I'm from Chicago, but it's cool. I was like, bro, I'm sorry, man. But there's a good message here, man, that if you don't know nothing about nothing, but you take what everybody, like, let's say that I talk about this team thing on my latest Tom Macdonald reaction, actually, but to The Devil is a Democrat, fire, by the way. But you take this team ideology, and that's one thing over this past year that I have eliminated myself from, is like the team ideology, right? Because everybody knows everything, but really nobody knows anything. That's facts. I'm just telling y'all something. Like, even all of us, bro, we all do it too, where it's like, man, I know everything about it, but you didn't really do that research. You didn't really check into that. You don't really know for sure. And it's okay to admit when you're wrong, or when it's okay to admit when you don't know. And I think I figured that out in this video. But anyway, long story short, Mesus hits me. He's like, yo, I know you saying you like NF. I said that somewhere in a video. It's like, I know you say you like it. I know you, and I talked about being a Christian. So I'm talking about being a Christian. I say I like NF. He's like, all right, bro, if you're a Christian, I'm a Christian. That's what Mesus means, Jesus and me. I also like NF. I have a freestyle on his Clouds record. And I was like, all right. So I went and checked that out. Did a reaction to it. I still wasn't all the way sold. You know what I mean? Once I started getting into the Pale Horse stuff, though, yeah. I was all the way sold on Mesus. It just took a little bit longer for me to be sold on Mesus. I don't know why. But once I was sold, I had that relatability thread. And the ironic part about all of that is he's the one I've probably talked to Mesus more than I've talked to Adam. At least for a while. I talk to Adam more now, but either way, like it's just a crazy experience. Like when you think about this was just like a year ago, and now we've already hit this milestone just a year later. So I'm super excited to see, and it takes work, y'all. Like if any of y'all are out there that wants to do the reaction videos or y'all are reactors and you're watching my, listen, it takes real work, and you have to work what you got, right? So like if I have these fans that are engaging and I have these members that are engaging, you have to work what you have in order to grow. You can't just, keep shooting videos, ignore who your following is, and then just expect for another following to, it's not the way it works, man. You got to work what you got. And that's where the engagement comes from. And the more engagement you have, the more loyalists that you have from the engagement, the more you're going to hit algorithms, man. It's just the way that it is. So I say all that to say that I really appreciate Mesus' patience with me, because he could have gotten that comment section and just offed it off the rip. Like, F you, bro. I don't care about you. And then you know what I mean? I really would have been lost if these guys took that to heart, but they're good people. And, you know, real recognizes real as well. It just took me a minute. And you kind of get to see all of that happen in real time on my first reaction to this record. So it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope to kind of look back on it, even though it's embarrassing. Anyway, man, let's get it, Mies.
It's best if you just look away, or I make your head twist like an exorcist. Waking up from nightmares.
Killed it.
Heart thumping, God, are you hearing my prayers? Cause I hear thunder and I don't really like mirrors. Someone stares back at me looking like my fear. The only one that I'm scared of is G-O-D and the old me, drunk a O-E. And I don't know if you aware, but I've been slowly numbing pain like an O-D. I'm codeine, battling my demons like it's 106 in Park, medicating sins with some
I like that part in the first one whenever he talks about battling my demons like it's 106 in Park. Like on Freestyle Friday, they used to battle. That's a hard reference to me. I still like that.
If you aware, but I've been slowly numbing pain like an OD. I'm codeine, battling my demons like it's 106 in Park, medicating sins with some gin. Never healed the scars, trying to impart part of my heart with my art, but the dark feel like darts and I don't know where I should start. Cause I've been feeling crazy, but I've been acting like I got it all together.
Hey.
I've been down lately, but maybe someday I'll get my act together.
Hey.
Made it through the bad weather. They was okay, but I had better.
This hook is crazy, Adam.
I like to look in mirrors, cause I don't like looking at my face. I don't look at my face. I don't look at my face. I don't look at my face. I see you looking at my face.
This part is real important. This part is really important because this is where Hangover Gang showed up and showed out on my first reaction. So before we get into that, I do just want to salute and say Adam, Mesus killed. And the irony of it all is this might be my favorite joint from all three of them. To be like, in all honesty, like Tom's got a bunch of records I really rock with, man. But there's something about this record with all of them together. There's something about it, man. So it's the irony of it all is that I still think like I always go back to this record, still to this day. And of course it means something to me, man. Like I got my first like 800 subscribers or something like that from this video. Shout out to the Hangover Gang. Shout out to the Goon Squad, to the Mesus fans, bro. Like that was big. That was real big. But I went into this thinking, all right, Tom Macdonald is a MAGA rapper. Great. Can't wait to hear what he says. But this is past that point, right? So like about halfway through my reaction is whenever I was like, hold up, dog. They're spazzing. This is actually really dope. I need to rearrange my frame here, bro. Like I'm being super biased when I told y'all I wasn't going to be biased. So let me break that to the side. And I think people respected the honesty, which is why they ended up subscribing to the channel anyway. And then the whole journey started. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. Tom's verse, I couldn't frown upon that at all. There was nothing to frown upon. Like, Tom obliterates this record. And I'm not taking nothing away from Adam and Mesus. They both did their thing on it as well. It's just, like, Tom went AWOL on this record. And I still, to this day, I think that Adam, I'm not going to do the comparison thing. I love all three of the verses, but Tom just really spazzed out and did his thing on this record. Uh-oh.
I'm mentally unstable, unable to get a grip. That my guardian angel probably thinks I'm a piece of shit. Got a mountain of problems and I've been standing on a cliff, thinking maybe I should jump and tell everybody I tripped. Can't admit it, but I'm sick. The prescription pills that I get getting harder to swallow and I don't feel like I'm fixed. I'm slipping further and further into the grip of a pit I've been digging since I was nothing, a little 6-year-old kid. Now I'm grown and I'm seeing ghosts of the man I used to be before I fell into this hole full of bones. I'll be getting stoned and it helped me cope with everything beautifully, but I wish I would have known about the lows. I moved into the middle of nowhere.
That whole rhyme scheme right there, bro. The whole flow, the pocket, everything. And Tom, not for nothing, I've heard a lot of people with The Devil is a Democrat. I love that record. I've already played that record like 50 times in the past 24 hours. But like I played it in the gym. I played it in the car. I played it for my wife. I played it for friends. I sent it to this person, sent it to that person. I listened to it like 3 times up here already. Like I've been jamming that record. But a lot of people are saying like it sounds like recycled Tom. if you want to know what I think about that, go watch that reaction. It's right underneath this one. But with this, I think this is what people are missing. You know what I mean? People are missing like that type. Like, this is grade A elite rapper ish right here, man. Like, you can't, like, if you like rap, you cannot listen to this and say that ain't good rap. You can't. I'm telling you, I'm a hip hop head. You can't say it.
I'm mentally unstable, unable to get a grip. That my guardian angel probably thinks I'm a piece of shit. Got a mountain of problems and I've been standing on a cliff, thinking maybe I should jump and tell everybody I tripped.
I love that line too. It still sticks with me to this day. I think I talk about this in the original, but maybe I should just jump off of a cliff and tell everybody I tripped. What does that resemble to you? You know what I mean? It says I've had it up to here. I'm done. I'm sick of life. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm about to just end it all right here. I'm about to jump. But then I would have to tell people that I jumped and I gave up. So you know what? I'm just gonna just let everybody know that I tripped. It's fire. It's fire. It's that introspective Tom. Like I love introspective Tom, and that introspection is what really sold me on his music along the way as it is. But don't get it twisted, bro. That Devil Is a Democrat is still it's just slaps, bro. But I think people are missing this. I think people are missing the introspective, raps.
But I'm sick. The prescription pills that I get getting harder to swallow, and I don't feel like I'm fixed. I'm slipping further and further into the grip of a pit I've been digging since I was nothing, a little 6-year-old kid. Now I'm grown and I'm seeing ghosts of the man I used to be before I fell into this hole full of bones. I'll be getting stoned and it helped me cope with everything beautifully, but I wish I would have known about the lows. I'm moving to the middle of nowhere. If I was you, wouldn't go there, cause I just wanna be by myself. Nothing but some mountains and cold air. I got my dogs and I don't care, and I did everything by myself. I just wanna be in nature, keep erasing my entire legacy of everything and being famous. I am not a celebrity, I'm a piece of paper that I scribble my thoughts on when they feel dangerous. Fuck you, I can see it clear. Used to want Hollywood, now I wanna disappear. Everywhere I go, people looking at me weird. Every time I see a mirror, I can't look at my face.
Spazzed, bro. Woo! Tom goes ape on this record, bro. I love this record. It's also, I will tell you guys, like, for this to be your introduction, like, most of you guys that have been fans of them for so long, y'all know their stories. Like, y'all know what led up to this record. This was my introduction to these three, right? So I was looking at this and trying to figure out, like, their personalities, who they are as people through these verses. You know what I'm saying? And the intriguing thing to me now, looking back at this a year later, is even once I gave them like the respect that they deserved, even once I got there, I still didn't know the half about who they were. You know what I mean? And now I feel like I think I have a good grasp on it. But Tom went crazy on this record. This was insane. That verse is insane. Adam's verse is insane. Mesus went crazy. Like, this is a very, very good record, man. I love Mirrors.
I've been feeling crazy, but
let's go, Adam.
I've been acting like I got it all together. I've been down lately, but maybe someday I'll get my act together. Made it through the bad weather. Day was okay, but I had better. I don't like to look in mirrors, cause I don't like looking at my face. I don't look at my face. I don't look at my face. I don't look at my face. I see you looking at my face.
Sheesh. Boy, that record is so hard, bro. And over the course of time, of course, it just becomes like one of those things. Like if you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you know about these boys, you know about these boys. You know what they do. You know how fierce it is. You know what the music is like. You know how it can touch your soul. You know how it can pull on your heartstrings. You know how much relatability and replay value there is. The more you grow to understand and let down your guard. I'm going to tell y'all something right here. I'm going to give y'all a jewel. The more you let down your guard and the more you try to understand something that you didn't think you could even start to understand in the beginning, the more you can learn to appreciate, in this case, the artist, but in a general case, everything. If you can just learn to let your guard down and quit letting what everybody else says affect your way of thinking, and you can learn to think on your own and maneuver on your own. And I know everybody out there, I know all of you guys are sitting there thinking right now, like, I do that. That's me for sure. I don't let nobody affect my way of thinking. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We all do. If you're being real about it, let's just keep it a buck, keep it a beam with yourself. Yes, you do. But if you can learn how to take your guard down and learn to try to dive into things that you don't necessarily understand off the rip, you can learn to grow to appreciate it even more than you appreciate what you thought you appreciated to begin with. I love these guys today. 1 year later, I absolutely love Tom Macdonald, bro. I love Adam Calhoun. I appreciate Adam Calhoun. I appreciate, he's like my buddy. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. Mesus. I feel the same about Mesus. I feel like that's like a buddy. Like I appreciate these guys and I love them. And I love these records that they put out. And they're hella slept on because of what I was just talking about. How people put up this guard. Like, no, it ain't cool for me to like this. I'm straight. Let your guard down. Learn to appreciate things that you didn't think you could appreciate. This video changed my life. This video changed my life. Just telling y'all something, man. This video literally changed my life. It changed the way that I look at things. It changed the way that I respond to things. It changed a lot. And I owe a huge portion of this channel's success to this video, to the Hangover Gang, to the Goon Squad, and to the Mesus fans. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I hope y'all know it. And I appreciate y'all walking me through this journey. But imagine, like, a regular hip-hop head. Like, I'm a hip-hop guy, bro. I get on Twitter. I talk about hip-hop all day. It's, like, my favorite thing to do. Oh, well, now I get on YouTube and talk about hip-hop. But, like, I love talking about hip-hop with people, man. It's, like, my favorite subject matter. And in the same way that it's, like, not cool to like Eminem anymore. If you're a white guy and you have a voice or a platform, it's really not cool for you to like Eminem. It's way cooler for you to say, like, nah, I mean, he's cool, I guess, but... And in that same breath, it's cool for you to not like these guys if you're in those conversations. But I would vouch to say that these guys rap better than 90% of the people that y'all are defending over there. Let down your guard, learn something new, and see where it takes you. I'm real appreciative of this video. I'm real appreciative of you guys. You guys have been amazing. This has been an amazing ride. I appreciate y'all so much. And I appreciate this 10,000 subscription, man. This is amazing. It's amazing. I mean, back then, like when I did this, I would have loved to have just had 1,000 subscribers. And here we are a year later with 10,000. I actually know 2 of these guys. And we're continuing to grow, and we're continuing to... It's been a blessing. It's been so fun. And sometimes I got to remember that. Sometimes I got to remember, like, you know what, bro? You're having fun. Because sometimes I look at this like a job. And it is work. You know what I mean? You gotta put in the work. But I'm having a blast with y'all, and I owe that to y'all. So I appreciate y'all. But imagine, like, this is an ADHD moment. I'm sorry. I'm going back to what I was talking about a minute ago. But imagine, like, a hip-hop head and all these, like, older white people are telling the hip-hop head, like, no, this is good hip-hop. Of course they turn the other way. And it's like, nah, what the young black guys over here are saying, that's what's real hip-hop. But I've always been able to think on my own. But sometimes even when you think that you can think on your own, you still need to be humbled and put in your place, which is what this video did for me. So I love this record, man. Mirrors, still to this day, is probably one of my is top 3 in all 3 of their catalogs to me. I love this record. So shout out to Adam, shout out to Mesus, and shout out to Tom, man. I love this record, and I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. 10,000 subscriptions. Let's get it, dog. All right? I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Peace.